Well, hello everybody. As promised, I said I would go through the rapid test as I was to do it today. I have to for work. I have to do it twice a week, like many other Canadians, regardless of vaccine status. Now, it's been a pretty stressful weekend because I'll tell you, every day I drive the GTA, they say keep the vials perfectly vertical, which I did. But my drive is long and it's on the 401 and other highways all the way to the QEW. And you bounce around. So the issue is, for one, everybody look at the container the employer rolls out. And you open this Ziploc, which looks like a high quality Ziploc. The first thing you'll notice with Panbio is it's not a hazardous material Ziploc. So what does that mean? I do a test and I throw it in the garbage and it goes into the dump for the garbage man? No. You're supposed to have a hazardous packaging and it goes in a different kind of disposal. I know this because my daughter takes 2 injections a day, every day for the rest of her life, as a type 1 diabetic. Now, here's the vials, and I don't know how much you'll be able to see, but you'll see there's droplets all along. And as you go through the instructions, which I open the bag, there's no fluid in the bag. There's instructions. You'll see 2 swabs, 2 test kits. When you go through that, there's supposed to be a certain amount of fluid in the vials, which obviously it's not in there. All you can see is bubbles. One's got a little bit at the bottom, but it's not at the minimum required depth to accurately do the test. So right off the hop, my first day, I'm already screwed. And these little bottles have top punctures, which are not punctured. So they leaked out. They leaked out. Because these vials, these plastic vials, are to sit in a tube holder. They come in the box that these came from of 25. Every kit from Panbio comes the same way. Same instructions. Now, employers can choose to do this program, but it's not by Panbio. It's not to leave site, and it doesn't leave without a biohazardous bag. Uh-oh. All you get is the instructions on how to do the test, but the manufacturer does state you need 2 of these, 2 of these, and 2 of these kits along with the instructions. It's supposed to be a biohazardous bag, and it's not to leave the workplace. This isn't a breakdown and send people home. It's not to sit around for the weekend. And unfortunately for me, Saturday morning when I came home, I discovered the vials are virtually empty. And again, the bag, there's no moisture. Paper instructions, not damaged, not wet. Guess I should have inspected the product, but how would I know when it wasn't educated to me, rolled out by any way, shape, or form by the employer or the government of Ontario? It's, hello, how's your day? Here you go, take this. Oh, by the way, keep the bag vertical. That's great, except for I drive a freeway and it's a long drive, and you can imagine bumping down the freeway like this, and the tube inside the bag, I don't know what the fluid is. Again, they're not punctured. They haven't even been unscrewed. Or have they? This one looks loose. This one looks cross-threaded. When I look at the gap on those, one is cross-threaded. It's taller than the other one. It shouldn't be. If you can see that, it's cross-threaded. I can see it. That's the problem, folks. It's supposed to be administrative work, not sent home. I'll go to work today. They say, oh, no, you used up your test. Go home. I guess it's go home. I will not be playing with the pathetic government anymore. It's gone past the point of stupid. It's a pathetic joke. These tests, these 25 tests that come in a box, these are the official ones. This one's been broken down all employees will get it to take home. And I guess if you're close to work and you're not far or more than a few kilometers away and you're not going over the speed of 50 kilometers an hour, I guess that works out. But I doubt very much these were designed to be broken down in Ziploc bags with the fluid in the vials and sent on their merry way for anywhere from a 45 to 2 hour drive down any freeway. I doubt that. And as Panbio says, they're not to leave the workplace if you're breaking down. The employer's supposed to run this. They're supposed to have, again, a biohazardous bag. And I know this, you catch superior shit, and I don't mean a little bit, you get a lot, especially with needles or all kinds of other what are hazardous materials. Anyone who's ever done TDG, hazardous waste materials, you'll learn that this is not kosher. This doesn't get sent out, let alone from employers. Now, I'm sure Ontario government's telling everybody, but this is extenuating circumstances. We're trying to stop a disease. Health Ontario and everything else, they know better than the manufacturers. They know better than the average Joe dummy, I guess, even though apparently they are as dumb as it gets. So yeah, that's what I got Friday, and already it's I can't even complete the tests. One of these kits of 25 runs anywhere from $450 to $319, depending United States or Canada. Employers get 25 tests. They break them down so they can give 2, because you test 2 per week, and that's what they're doing. The government also said there's no expiry as per the manufacturer. The government of Ontario and the federal government says we can extend these for 24 months, no problem. Don't worry about it. We know what we're doing. Just like they know that it comes in a Ziploc bag and it leaves the work site to go home with the employees. I've just about made it to the end of what I'm going to tolerate. I don't know about the rest of you. Just to remain employed. Like I said, you want to run a health service or an employer-sponsored service for the Crown Government of Canada because you're a Crown employer. If that's you, I suggest you actually administer it yourself. I'll go to work, see what they say. If they send me home or they fire me, so be it. There was no education whatsoever. It was handed off to you, here, go make this work. And of course, by the time I got home, it's impossible for it to work. But like, what's weird is there's no fluid in the Ziploc whatsoever. There was no fluid loose. One's cross-threaded, so you have to wonder who's doing this, who's putting these packages together. No health official, I can promise you that, wouldn't send out a broken down package in a Ziploc bag. They wouldn't. It would come in a hazardous bag as is recommended by the manufacturer. But I don't know. It's all taxpayer money and it's government run and it's a centralized health system. So, your guess is as good as mine. You're getting people with high school education in a lot of ways running and administering this kind of stuff, planning it, getting it together, making it up as they go along, all in the name of destroying the country, destroying businesses, destroying people as far as I'm concerned. I've watched videos, people showing me from Mexico, people moving there saying, hey, I'd rather be in a second or third world country and have all my freedoms than in the first supposed world where insanity rules at all kinds of expense. We will be in the second and third world. When you think about the cost of this, it would be 2 tests a week if I worked 52 weeks a year. So let's just say 26. The cost of just my employment in a year is running upwards of $500 just for this. Way, way less than the vaccination program. I don't understand where the government thinks this is feasible. where we're going to run this nationally and interprovincially. I don't see it working out at all. I see cockamamie, fear-based system based on absolutely none of the manufacturers and what they state, and governments making up as they go to justify their huge autocracies now. I don't know. I just would love to get into the United States of America. I'm going to work. I'm working now for the Republicans again. I don't care. Highest level of the Republicans. Very happy about that. That came through this weekend. I'm just disgusted with Canada, where we're going, what I have to participate in. My girlfriend Tina, what she has to participate in now is the primary educator of her grandson. And what are you paying teachers for? What are you paying the schools for? I went through this in Alberta too with my girls before I left. I know my mother runs all that when they're at home schooling, and it's incredible. It's incredible. Why do we pay so much for services that are not really being performed, or they're being performed like this with no real credible expertise, none whatsoever, completely against the design of the system from start to finish? And that's okay, they say. Doug Ford, he's got you covered. And Justin Trudeau, he's a wealthy silver spoon from a corrupt father who's murdered many on lines of genocide. All Canadian autocratic governments do it. They continue to do it. They do idiocracy like this through their absolute crown autocracy. I am just completely dumbfounded and absolutely unimpressed with the idea of ever being Canadian or ever wanting to be Canadian going forward. I just want to get my visa passed and done. I know Tina feels the same way. I don't know how many other Canadians feel that way. I participated absolutely in the vaccine program. As you all got to see, those who follow me, the government made sure I would not get my third dose of Pfizer. I was told, take the other vaccine. Who cares what the lower scale is? Who cares what there's associated risks? Who cares about all those from the Treaty Indian family you've attached to? Who cares? We know what we're doing. We're not experts. We didn't craft the vaccines. We've had nothing to do with that. Our academic institutions have had nothing to do in Canada with any of the vaccinations whatsoever. And I'm to trust all of this now and go with the government. They've breached it because other countries have, because other countries run in their own autocracies. Canada will too, in the name of what's righteous for that divine first class. Nothing to do with us, the third class. Destroy the second class if they don't cooperate, and absolutely destroy the First Peoples. That's the Canada motto. That's what Canada does. But just look at that, everybody. Just look at that. If I look down and out, wore out, it's because I am. Me and Tina are pretty fed up. I'm fed up. I had a hard time sleeping this weekend. I'm stressed about all of this and how I can even stomach being a Canadian anymore. What I have to do to remain employed, fully vaccinated or not, didn't matter. And getting a booster is not going to matter. This kind of clown issuance and completely unacceptable mode forward, it screams of joke. What kind of government are we all under here? What kind of government? Who would pay for this? Oh, it's okay, just do it. When they clearly tell you, don't accept packaging for these tests broken down without a hazardous bag. Don't leave your work. That's what they tell you. The manufacturer tells you, this doesn't go on a trip with you home to get bounced around in your vehicle. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know what to say anymore. I just don't even want to be Canadian anymore. If this is where we are going, the government should have clearly defined that, laid it out, but centralized systems never can. That's the problem with big government and big government autocracy again, with no rules of governance, how to govern, or any real accountability. That is Canada. It will always be Canada as long as we go forward without any we the people. And if you read the Constitution of Canada in its preamble, there are no first people, no third class or second class Canadians. When I say that, in customary British law that Canada adopted with that 1867 of the time, where UK has moved on in their ever-changing constitutionalism, because it's not codified. I don't like those. Canada is codified, but it's codified in a time of class structure and absolute customary royal family law. And even now to this day, all of those colonial countries of the Commonwealth that were colonials of the British royal family, when it was legal, when it reigned terror all the way up through the League of Nations until absolutely losing World War II. That's really what World War II is. It's the end of the colonials, all of them. They were the participants of World War II. It's why Russia and USA didn't get involved till much later in the war. It's why Japan went after China. China was not colonial, Japan was. All those in the highest level of the League of Nations were all colonials, just like the UK. UK ran it. Epic failure from World War I all the way till World War II, where Germany takes that colonial. This is where we're at. I'll go to work today. I'll try to get another test administered at work. I guess if they say tough shit hit the road, I guess they say that. And that's just the way it is. Thanks, everybody.